Alright, welcome back to day 30 something, I don't know, 35, 36 of construction. We are going to be running some water today. So I've got the water hose in here. And what I'm going to do is basically just flush out the creek. And yesterday we put a little bit of muriatic acid. This is just to clean the concrete. It's concrete, etching concrete basically. This is what we clean the concrete with before we throw the pond shield down. So the two-part epoxy that goes down, we have to basically etch the concrete first. So you can see that we've cleaned it. This up here has basically, I just poured some acid with the water hose. You don't want to let that acid sit on that concrete. It will turn it colors. It'll turn it, excuse me, a yellowish color. So as long as you got plenty of water hose, we've already done that mostly. So right now we are going to run some water through the creek and flush it out. Make sure, I know we probably do have some pinhole leaks, and that's fine because the pond shield will shield that all up. So I'm going to set this right here. We're going to kind of see how this water flows. Maybe I can set this up here. Let's set it right there. Now, zoom out and kind of see how this water is going to flow. Maybe. All right. All right, you ready? Here we go. Hear something dripping. Sounds like something's hitting plastic. Oh dear. Alright, so we're leaking out, or are we leaking out? Or we just go up over that with the water. Let's slow the, I'm going to slow the water up a little bit. See what happens. Now that was extra slow, so yeah, we're still leaking over in that corner there. Leaking. Hold on, let me get over there. Welcome to the shit show. Let me get get over in here, and we can see that we are leaking through here on the back side. So that means water is leaking. Through this. That just means that we need to pond shield all that. So once we pond shield all that, it shouldn't leak through there. Oh, I feel it right there. Right there. There's a hole there. It's not a problem. Let's see here. Looks like we do have some leakage down here. So that means it's coming in probably from in there or out around in this corner here. Like I said, the pond shield is going to seal all that up. You can see some water down there. So as the water is running down through here, we've probably got some little pinhole cracks in the floor here, probably in the side wall. But that's not a problem at all. Pond shield, that 2-part epoxy will seal all this up. And we can go from there, basically. So once we've pond shielded it, we'll run water again. So water got all the way down this little spot here. But it was flowing, so that's good. So now that we've got this clean, like I don't feel any, like it'll dry up. We'll take a vacuum to it, suck up all what's extra there. And then mix up some pond shield and paint the pond shield. Just coat the walls real good. Everything you see with concrete, coat with pond shield. Pretty much everything all through here. We'll pond shield all this down into the hole there. We'll pond shield all that. Because I know water's going to be getting by. I can see my finger. See it? So we might even bring some more concrete in here. We might bring some concrete and fill all this in with concrete. Especially right here. That's going to be an issue when we get a lot of water flowing down. It's going to leak right through there. So it's information we did not have before. Now we do. And that's why we do what we do. So we really don't need any more water. What I need to do now is go just make some mix. Throw a little bit of mix up in here, seal this off. Pond shield everything in here. Basically just, we could probably just mix them up and pour it in there. Get this stuff out of here. Anything that doesn't wash out, you know, we'll suck out with a vacuum. Feel a little bit, these little crumbs in there. But all that is meant to be there, and it comes out from under here. One mistake I did make though was not sealing this bottom up before I stacked the rocks up around. So that was a mistake. But nothing we can't fix with a little concrete. Put a fan on it, it'll be dry by tomorrow. But until then we can come in with the pond shield. Like I said, seal this up, get that ready. Seal this up over here, maybe throw some more crete up right through here, seal that up, seal all this up, like I said, seal the back wall up in here up, all this can be sealed. on our way. We will be on our way. Once we seal the creek, we'll come in, seal the pond. Then we can really run some water, some serious water, and then we can start building in the creek. Once we know we don't have any leaks, we'll fill the creek up with water after we pond shield. This will fill up all the way up to this point, so we've got this depth here. See? This is where water is going to come in, but we'll be up here. So water will be flowing, we'll be dropping it down in stages until it gets down to boom here, somewhere in here, and then boom here, and then boom into the pond. So she'll be double waterfalling as she comes down. This is why we left this deep. We got a real deep here. That's at least 12 inches, 13 inches deep. Over there it's about the same all the way around. It's about 12 to 13 inches deep. A little deeper up here, but this slopes way down. So this water is going to be flowing down. We're going to place some rocks in there with a boosh, boosh, flowing on down, level off right through here. Make the turn, but when it makes the turn, it's going to be hitting some rocks and spinning it around as it turns. We'll drop boom down again, and then boom down into this and down into the pond. Seal the pond, fill it with water, let it sit for a day or so, 24 hours. Oh, let me get my old ass out of here. And then we know we're good to go. You know, I don't expect water to sit up there. It's going to flow down, but that's fine. We'll know we have it sealed up. Down here where the water's going to sit, we'll have to make sure that doesn't leak. We don't want the creek to leak water because it'll leak, and it'll leak constantly. And constantly, constant flow of water to the bottom will fill the bottom up too fast, and we don't want that. We want it to be wicking out the top, over the sidewall, down into the soil. This way roots can attach, catch a lot of that water before it even gets down to the bottom. But the water that does get to the bottom when the plants aren't here will sit in our 6-inch deep reservoir in that sand silt just below the clay. And you can see that the rocks only in certain places have concrete underneath the creek. So the creek is completely sealed. Underneath goes through. So the roots and soil will be throwing soil up underneath there as best we can, but then the roots can also go up underneath and utilize the whole floor. So that's that's the purpose. You can see roots can utilize everything instead of just this little pocket here, or it's not little, it's 23 inches deep. It's probably going to take every bit of 30 to 35 bags of soil to fill up. We've got all of this, all of the center will be soil, all around the edge, back to back, behind there will be soil, all of this will be soil. We'll pile soil all through here, all the way up to this rock, over into here. We'll raise a little mountain up here where Digger can come on up and enter into here, get into the creek if he wants. He'll be able to roam pretty much anywhere he wants. He'll be able to enter the pond right there. He'll be able to exit the pond if he so desires. Everything else will be fish. Probably herb garden up there, maybe. Carrots. Maybe some, celery. Some chives. Maybe a tomato plant over there. Cherry tomato over here. Maybe do some peas on the back wall. We can do just about anything we want, within reason of not taking over the whole room. We're not going to grow a giant pumpkin in here. The pumpkin will take up, everything. Can't grow we could probably grow corn, but it would be a short style corn. Like the tomatoes will grow like a cherry tomato plant. I put the cherry tomato right over here. Have 3 new lights, 3 new Grandmasters. 1, 2, 3. 1 up there, 1 down here, 1 right here. And that's how she's gonna roll. So I think that's long enough on the video. We're gonna get to work maybe on mixing some pond shield. And we're gonna seal that hole up that we found. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Everything else can be sealed up with pond shield. With that being said, I appreciate you watching, and we will see you later. Peace.